Here at the Idaho Walk Bike Alliance, our goal is to help every Idaho community build a transportation system that's safe for everyone.
We do this by empowering people. What do you want for your town? A bike lane? A sidewalk? A safe route to get your kiddo to school? We help you secure the funding so you can make that happen.
And we work hard every single day to make Idaho safe and accessible for everyone. We are at the State House every day because we are your voice at the state level. Oh, hey, Lance.
Hey, guys.
You headed to the Capitol?
Yes, I am.
Good luck up there.
Thanks, guys.
We want your town to be healthy, safe, and economically strong. And most importantly, we want you and your family to feel safe no matter how you choose to travel. Thanks so much for watching Filmed by Bike with us tonight. We are so grateful for your support and hope you have a wonderful and relaxing evening. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Oh yeah, I like it, I like it, I like it,
This is day one. 2 miles in. It's an amazing day. Come on. Just keep pedaling. Just keep pedaling. Just keep pedaling. Just keep pedaling.
There's no surprise, maybe there's no surprise. Is there something we could do tonight, maybe to pass the time? Is it worth just trying? It's in your eyes, it's in your eyes, maybe it's in your eyes. I see the skies, I see the skies, maybe I see those skies. Maybe what we do tonight leaves us no surprises. Maybe if that's alright.
Fish Lake area, and we're almost to the top. I think everybody else has been up there for a while. This has been a special climb for me. It's freaking hard, and I was thinking back to last year, and I don't know if it was the first day or the second day or multiple days when I was in tears of just frustration, and today I'm tired, but it's a different story, and I've cried probably 3 times on this hill, but mostly because, well, all because I'm going to be leaving this Oregon in a couple months, and I'm sad. It's beautiful, so get out there and enjoy it. It's a really special place. What do you think about the climb out of Brightonbush?
Dick kicker.
Thank you, Kim, for the warning.
I have a dick that's been kicked.
Like 5 times.
With every step, every rock in this uphill rock garden trail.
How do you really feel?
I want to go back to Brightonbush.
Signing out.
We do have.
So, we are currently climbing up to Bonnie Meadows on a road climb. It's like day 12. It's like 16 since we left home, and last night we did not make it to the Bonnie Meadows campground because we ended up at a river ford that we couldn't cross. So we backtracked about 17 miles, extra 1,000 feet of climbing, and we had to quit early. So this morning we rolled out at 7 a.m. to try to make up time and get to Bonnie Meadows early because we got a 40-mile day with 5,000 feet of climbing, so it should be fun.
Last year when I did this, I didn't really have like that day where I just felt flat and couldn't do it, and I think I'm really feeling it today.
Trophy point. We're still smiling. We're still smiling. Barely. There's the mountain in all its glory. What do you think of today? It's been really hard, but not as hard as we've climbed about 5,000 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And we still have more miles to go, but it's been fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's been a couple of hours and I'm feeling a little bit better. The views help. Well, it's just going downhill again. This is really hard. We're on surveyors, and it should be right. That should be really fun for me. It sucks. It sucks a lot, but at least the view's great. I'm really tired, and I'm shutting down, and I'm not talking at all. But everybody's being really good. I've just not had a day like this in a very long time.
When did you ever see the sun go fading out? And when did you ever see me lie? When did you ever see the sun fading out across the lightning in the sky? When did you ever see the sun go fading out and nothing could ever come between? And all of these things that we think we between you and I. How could anything that got between the sky begin to fall? How could I tell you all the times that I think you're beautiful? Beautiful. When did you ever see the sun go fading out and know that this all will fade away? When did you notice I was beautiful and completely unafraid? When did you ever see the sun go fading out and nothing could ever come between? Know that these things that we think we are and all the things we think we could be.
So the Tour Divide is based off of Adventure Cycling Association's Great Divide mountain bike route. It is the longest dirt touring route in the world, 2,750 miles from Banff, Alberta, Canada to Antelope Wells, New Mexico on the Mexican border. It follows the Continental Divide, 150,000 feet of climbing. And you go from the Canadian Rockies, big rugged mountains, down into Montana, it gets a bit greener, then through Wyoming and the Great Basin, very stark, through the highest point in Colorado, and then to the desert in New Mexico. It's fantastic. The Tour Divide is a self-supported race. That means you have to cover all of your own needs. Food, water, shelter, equipment, fixing your bike if it breaks, anything that comes up along the way. You can use commercial services, so you could stop at stores, you could stop at bike shops, you could stay in hotels. Anything that's available to the public, you can take advantage of. There's no entry fee, there's no prize money. I love this route. The riding is not technical. It's dirt road riding. So it's basically you take road riding, you put it on dirt, you need a bit bigger of a tire, and you need to love climbing, and that's it. Anybody could ride this route with enough motivation and a decent level of fitness. And it makes a great touring route. But it also makes a great race route for that reason because you don't get so beat up.
That's fun.
Day after day, you actually enjoy the riding. The thing that makes it hard is just riding more mileage, riding faster. And then the weather can be tough because it's at high elevation. Racing ultra distances requires a level of urgency. So you have to be thinking about how am I going to stay on my bike and keep moving forward as much as possible. With this urgency also requires a bit of deprivation, some sacrifices. So you cut sleep. Typically I'll sleep 4 hours a night. You try to minimize stops. So I'll buy all my food, pack it on my bike, and eat it while I'm going. So
Ketchup?
I never expected any of this for this town, to be honest with you. I should have turned my open sign on. She will come while I'm in there, I just know it.
Okay, I'm Kathy Schoendorfer. I'm the Blackfoot Angler here in Ovando, Montana. Population 70. My unofficial title here is Ovando Organizer of Frivolous Affairs. So during the TDR, when people come in, I take their pictures and I post it on Bikepacking Forum so everybody can see them. And we try to help out where we can, but not help too much since you have to be self-supported.
That's one of the locals.
Hey, Leo.
Hi there.
I'm Kathy. I'm the one that puts the pictures on for bike packing.
Oh yeah.
So hold on, that's a great smile with the Montana flag next to you. So anyhow, so if you don't mind, even if you did, I'd do it anyway. Put your pictures, post them for you.
Oh, super. Thank you.
Sure.
How are you doing?
A lot better than you.
I'm doing great.
We've been doing this now for 5 years since we found out that a lot of riders really appreciate just having somebody know their name, just to say hi and not get totally ignored, especially if they've been on the road for a long time. And a little bit of friendliness goes a long way with somebody's attitude towards continuing on.
I don't know about that.
Screen code?
Yeah.
I'll just do these.
Okay, all right.
They're easier. They're easier to pack.
I think those are tough to pack.
It's gonna melt all over everything. Okay. I think that's good.
All right, that's just plain gross.
You haven't seen the worst of it.
Oh, probably not. Dogs in it.
And that's the neat thing. Everybody's got a story. Everybody's absolutely fascinating to talk to. And I just like listening to stories. And then I put it next to their picture, give a little caption, tell them what they've been doing, let the magazines take it from there.
Good luck to you.
People came to Ovando because we were just about ready to dry up and blow away. I mean, there just was no business here. And then we discovered cycling and more people came. So for 5 months out of the year, it's crazy in here. It's crazy time. I mean, there's cars everywhere and people walking around, and you got cyclists. I mean, we're going to have days coming up where, you know, the bicycles are going to be lined up against everywhere around here.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
We get a lot of fishermen. We're on the Blackfoot River. The river runs through it, for crying out loud. So everybody's heard the Blackfoot River. But I think what has boggled our minds is that it's been Tour Divide that has made us known from Banff to Belgium. I mean, they come in, and Sophie, you know, who's first place, he goes, I met you last time. And he goes, we were talking about you. And I still have a hard time wrapping my head around that. Just what we do for the cyclists has come so full circle that they're talking about a little town of 70 people in the middle of nowhere.
There you are.
It's me. Yeah, you recognize me.
Okay.
I enjoy the heck of it because sometimes it's not that busy and I get to have a lot of time to talk to them.
So 2015, I raced the Tour Divide twice, first with the Grand Depart in June, and then again as a time trial by myself in August. Anchorage is my hometown. I thought the best way to get to the Tour Divide would be to ride from home to the start for training, and also I'd never ridden through Canada. So I did that in June, got to Banff, took a week off, started racing the Tour Divide, got extremely sick. For a week, I was struggling with breathing. I rode myself to the emergency room in Helena, Montana, where I got an albuterol treatment. They took an x-ray of my lungs to make sure I didn't have pneumonia. And then I continued on my way. I actually got better during my ride, picked up my pace, beat the women's record by 2 days, taking it from 19 to 17 days. And then I go home and then I'm like waking up at night thinking I could ride so much faster. I know I could ride faster. If I didn't get sick, I'd be so much better. And I became kind of obsessed with this to the point where 2 weeks later, from when I finished, I'm riding back down to Banff to start by myself on a time trial. And then I finish in 15 days, 10 hours. And I set this new women's record.
The persistence and the perseverance that really stood out even as a young girl. So whatever she did, she would just do it until she became good at it. So in that way, I think maybe we weren't surprised about the endurance bike riding.
My overall goal is to break the record on this route, which is 13 days, 22 hours, and 51 minutes set by my call. To do that, I have to average 200 miles a day for just under 14 days. And that's like 15,000 feet of climbing per day. I mean, it's kind of mind-melting. Then when you look at that, you're like 200 miles a day for 14 days. Okay, if I ride 200 miles in 24 hours, what would be my average then? But then you think, well, I do have to sleep for 4 hours, so I'm cut down to 20 hours. Then I do have to stop to buy my own food to get my own water, so I'm actually cut down to 18 hours. So then you have to do the math. What's 200 divided by 18? And then account for it. Well, I could have a mechanical. I could have to deal with that. You know, there are all these other things that come up. But that's just numbers. Then think about the landscapes you're going to see. If you're riding 200 miles a day, you're probably covering at least 3 mountain passes.
It has been so pretty today. Has everyone already made it to Mexico? I feel like we've been time traveling every single day.
You get to see that whole state on a dirt route through the Rockies in 4 days. Every sunrise, every sunset, everything in between, rushing through little towns. Or you end up riding through like a thunderstorm, and it's uncomfortable. You're cold, you're wet, but you have to stay on the bike. But there is a beauty to that too, because you'd never see those moments if you were touring or in another situation. You would go inside, you would avoid that. So the exposure is both discomfort and also beauty. It's like you get to see everything. I love it. I love it. It's intense. 4 years later, I have the opportunity to kind of set up my own media project, and I'm like, let's do it. Let's share the story of the Great Divide and the Tour Divide and the towns and the passes and what it means to bike this distance through the Rockies, through the US. I mean, it's incredible. So we set out to do that.
Woo! She took it too. She's like, what? I don't know.
Sorry, I had to.
No, that was awesome.
So the race is going great. There are about 5 of us that are just about on record pace. Switching positions, the riding's awesome. I'm having the time of my life out there. And it's colder than usual. It's really cold. Sometimes I'm waking up, my water bottles are frozen. I didn't bring much of a sleep system. All I have is an emergency bivvy, down pants and a down jacket, and I'm shivering on the ground. But I'm also just so happy to be riding. I'm making plans in my mind. I'm gonna get through Brush Mountain Lodge, then I'm gonna get to Steamboat Springs before the bike shop closes at 6. And I'm gonna get a new chain, I'm gonna get a new rear tire, I'm gonna get my bike looked at, and I'm gonna keep going. And once I'm in Colorado, it's easy riding. I'm gonna ride so fast, and I'm gonna get it. That's the second half of the race. At this point, I am out of the Great Basin through Wamsutter, and I'm a full day ahead of my record from 2015. I'm a full day ahead, and I'm only halfway through the race. I could beat my own record by 2 days at this point. I'm feeling great. Riding to Brush Mountain Lodge, and then I start realizing, like, wow, there was a lot of water on this road. And then they're like, yeah, you might have trouble on this next stretch. And then they tell me that Sofian, the guy who was in first, had gone up there the previous night, got stuck in like a storm with snow, and had come back. And he was sleeping at the lodge.
I'm up there. It's way below freezing. Way below freezing. It's dark.
oh yeah.
Can't find my way. The only way that I could find is actually the way that I came from. And I'm willing to push myself really, really far to do well in these races. There's some stuff that I'm not willing to do. It's sometimes better to take a step back and tell yourself, all right, what's more important? Me just surviving this night, or me trying to keep pushing just to win the race? I mean, the race goes on every year. It can come back any time, so.
And then they tell me that Josh Cotto had gone up, and it took him a full 24 hours to get from Brush Mountain Lodge to Steamboat Springs. Something I think typically it usually takes like maybe 3-4 hours to cover that distance. Maybe a little bit longer, but really it's like one pass, and then you get to Clark, which has a little nice general store, and then it's descending to Steamboat Springs. Not a big deal.
I was trying to find some shelter in some trees, so it's pretty barren up there. I mean, it's just this big empty hillside, and I get to near the top and see this grove of trees, probably 2 a.m. or something. I don't know what time it was. Showing the lights in there, and there's a cougar staring right back at me, like, no, you're not staying here. Like, okay. Kept going, and I don't know, I bivvied up near the top somewhere up there, but it was pretty nice. If he came by me on the way down, I never heard him. I mean, I think I stopped at like 3 a.m. or something. It was I would love to hear everybody else's story from coming over that, because it's going to be good, I'll tell you. Oh, I'll wait here for him. I mean, I don't even care anymore. It's just like, I'm glad I'm not that now. I can't believe he turned around and went to that mud again. That was maybe worse than the snow. I don't know.
And then I go up there anyway. I was with another racer at the time, and then like half a mile down the road, get stuck in this terrible mud. Wheels are not moving, nothing's happening. I had even tried to like push my bike along kind of foliage to avoid the mud, which is really awkward, but I was doing this. I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep it up here so I don't get the mud, and it was unavoidable. I mean, the mud where it's like caking your shoes, like here's the shoe, here's the mud. It's like an extra pound on each foot at least. You're looking at like 12 miles of this.
The problem is that then it gets so heavy with the mud, or else I just carry it.
But he's doing really well. That's why I feel badly. He's making it. I guess I just can't.
What do you think, Kai? Are you able to do it?
No.
No.
I'm building up mud as well.
Okay.
Me and Leo stood in pretty much this exact spot yesterday. We were like, yeah. It's mad, isn't it? Like,
It is.
I mean, fair play to those guys who got through it.
Yeah.
Fair play.
But I also don't think they didn't have. I mean, this mud is like if you could hike, it'd be different. We can't even hike.
You just got to take your bike apart, put it on your back, and walk.
Yeah.
It's not really a bike ride, then, is it?
No. We did. I had that brief moment of excitement.
Yeah, me too. You guys went, it was like, fuck. I need to go and have a look.
Yeah. It's just.
Just when do you ride a fat bike?
Oh my god, that's not a fat bike.
It's not, dude.
What is that? Is that a tube? Or maybe he has a fat tire. Yeah, I think he does.
Are you northbounders? We were fine, but then we ran out of pizza.
Well, now you know. Oh my God.
There we go.
That's good.
No, I'm all buddy.
We are stuck here now, cleaning our clothes and go to sleep and eat. So, which is fine. Yeah, it's all right. But it's just a weird situation to be in this transition. Can't do nothing at all. You're just used to be on the bike and ride, and now we are stuck here. But yeah, it's good. It's kind of like not doable. So we try to get over that at 3 o'clock in the night. So when the mud is like really hard and the snow is hard, and so
Because at that point we can just ride the next 12 miles, which will take like an hour versus going a mile an hour.
It's raining.
Yeah.
It's really bad. This is actually like the worst I could like wake up to. It's like just above freezing and raining.
I just said to Kai, this isn't good.
This is really bad.
Yeah.
It'd be better if it was just snowing.
Right, absolutely. Because it's not cold enough right now to freeze.
I know.
I say we send Kai up there, wait a few hours.
if he comes back.
What do you call it? The canary?
Yes. What do you think? Take one for the team?
Like you're taking the bet for the team? I'm taking
Yes, I did. There's gonna be a big pile up here.
There's gonna be a big pile here. This race.
Oh my god.
Is it just a?
It's that's better, but it just.
Yeah, but snowing down here.
Right.
Remember, our primary concern is getting to the snow.
Right.
And now it's snowing here.
I know. Yeah, this is. The likelihood of us passing is so low that to go off in the dark seems kind of silly. Yeah, pointless.
Day of summer, but don't tell Mother Nature. There's snow in the high country.
We had 2 feet of fresh snow over the weekend up here.
We're still waiting for all the earlier snow to melt.
With nearly 20 inches of fresh snow, but this is real, an amazing weather pattern we have overhead.
Well, it seems as though this was shaping up to be one of the faster races any of us had ever seen. Like everything was going really fast. It's funny, there's been this overwhelming sort of draw for people who race the route over the years that they want to get here. I think partially because it's the halfway point, partially because I'm become this sort of person in the middle of nowhere who has food for hungry cyclists. And so they're excited to find this random human that sits out here in the woods. But they get to this place and then they find themselves having a hard time leaving. And so for years they've said, oh my God, it's a vortex, I can't get out, I have to go. They say I'm usually the problem. I give the beers out, I give the food out, everybody's got a comfortable place to sit. But it wasn't my fault this time, it was the mud. All these really amazing racers, these are all like superstars who never get to sit together at a table really because they're always competing with one another. So I think there's been a lot of things that have brought it together to make it a really unique moment. I was jokingly calling it the armistice of 2019, but I feel as though it's got its own unique opportunity. It's been really muddy. Who's this? Oh wow. You know what's crazy is you guys gotta stop doing this. That's crazy. This is a second call from some dot stalker tonight. You get to wait and watch the dot like everybody else, bro. I understand. I'm not being bitchy, man. I'm making fun of you. It's all good. Everybody's good. It's just muddy up here. The weather's been bad. All right. Have a good night, man. Happy stalking. Bye. What the? Happy stalking.
I was a day ahead of my record, and then we watch my record dot pass us. So then I'm like, okay, well, there's that. But all along the way, you know, I don't only ride these things just for records. I don't only ride these things to win races. I ride because I love riding. There's no way you can continue riding these distances without a passion for it, without a passion to be out. So even if I see my record go by, I still want to ride my bike. The thought never entered my mind like, I'm gonna just pack up and go home. Because why would I do that? I wouldn't rather be home. Yeah, I'd rather beat my own record, but if that becomes unattainable, it's not the end of the world. I still get to ride my bike. That's real victory. I get to do that every day. I just feel so grateful that I get to do that. It's a choice, it's a lot of work, but it's what I love most. We got this media project approved by the race director, Matthew Lee, at least half a year before we started. I wanted to be as transparent as possible with our intentions. And the intentions were to make a video that's inspiring to others, to show the landscape, to tell the story, to be inclusive. 1 week before the race starts, start hearing kind of commentary of accusations of, well, if you have a media crew out on this race, is that an unfair advantage? It was primarily a Facebook group that started kind of attacking the concept of a media project. The primary issue that people stated was that there's going to be a video crew on the route. This is not the first time this has happened. The race director has had a video primarily about himself on the route. Second issue was that Rue was part of the video crew and Rue's my girlfriend. So then I'm seeing somebody that I care about out on the course, and then the issue with this is that she will give me an emotional boost, so I'll feel better and then I'll ride better. I wouldn't be getting any help, any assistance. Just seeing Rue would give me a boost. And then knowing she's there is gonna give me a boost. The concept of having somebody out there is a boost. Matthew actually suggested this, that I don't see Rue along the route, that the two others that we have on the crew are responsible for taking stills and video footage of me. Rue could be the director from a distance, and then she can also document the other racers. So we did that. As part of this precaution, Each member of the media crew had to have their own spot tracker to tell, where they were at all times to make sure mostly that Rue wasn't with me during the race. So we said, okay, that's fine. Another precaution was the race director suggested that I don't use my phone for the race so that I don't have the chance to call loved ones, to get support, to text, to check the tracker, whatever else you do that would give you an advantage. And no one else was asked to not use their phone. I agreed because I wanted to do whatever I could to continue with the project, continue with the race, mostly just because I wanted to ride my bike. There's a huge backlash, and then we find out while I'm racing that there's another film crew on the route, and they're following a male racer, and he is actually almost in the exact same position in the race as I am. We're leapfrogging each other. We're friends, we're having fun. For whatever reason, I'm getting attacked. And then on Facebook, he's getting praised. Incredible, by the same people who are yelling at me, they're clapping for him. Unbelievable. Then people were also trying to say that my previous rides on the Tour Divide also didn't count, that my records didn't count. I didn't have any media during those attempts. And then people were also trying to discredit my win in the Trans Am in 2016, where I also didn't have media. I'm trying to get in the mindset of racing 2,700 miles and trying to do it in faster than 2 weeks and facing deep snow in Colorado. I'll make concessions, I'll do my best, I'll make it fair, and I'll continue. But this is not what you want to be thinking about. You want to be thinking about, do I have the right equipment? Am I emotionally and mentally and physically prepared? Do I have a good plan? When I got stuck at Brush Mountain Lodge, Rue was there too to document the situation, but she was staying in a cabin far from the main house, far from the lodge. She was out there for 2 days by herself while the rest of us were in the lodge eating meals, talking, waiting out the weather. The second morning that I had been there, I kind of realized this is ridiculous. My record had already passed me. We'd been stuck in snow. Before I even started riding, people said my ride wouldn't count anyway because of media, because it was influenced. Hypothetically, it was influenced. This was even before the ride had started. And I was like, I'm not willing to be controlled by members of a Facebook group that aren't riding, that are sitting behind their screens criticizing what I'm doing. I'm out here braving the weather, pedaling my bike, carrying my own gear, doing something inspiring. It's like they're doing the opposite. And I kind of decided in that moment, I'm just gonna ride my own ride anyway. Nobody can tell me I can't be on this route. They can tell me I can't be part of this race, but I can make that decision myself. So what I did was I went in the lodge, I'd had breakfast, blueberry pancakes and sausage, and then I took a breakfast plate to Rue, and then I wrote to Matthew Lee and said I'm scratching from the race because I saw Rue. And that takes me out of competition. And I was okay with that decision. The race is gone, but the route's still there. I'm at basically the halfway point. I still get to ride the second half of the Tour Divide route, which is actually my favorite part of the route anyway. My favorite part of the route is New Mexico.
Oh my God, this is incredible. It's probably like the most beautiful night I've had. The light is just unbelievable. It's like, I guess this is sunset, but it doesn't even look like a sunset. It's just like this amazing, amazing bright sky. And then all the trees are silhouetted.
I can't speak for both of us, but I think I've gotten better at it, not worrying. Well, when the dot stops for like 42 minutes, what happened?
He may be better at it, but I'm not.
But then the dot goes on again and everything's fine and she's moving ahead.
As a bikepacking community, particularly those participating in races, I feel like we all have so much more in common than our differences. We're all out there riding to the best of our abilities, cutting sleep, making sacrifices, but truly enjoying the terrain. We're all doing the same thing, so I wish we could kind of engage in that spirit.
There he is.
Oh, we got a red light. We got a red light.
Classic size trip here.
That was awesome. Dude, the track stand was great. Oh, my heart. It's jumping out of my chest.
That was totally worth it.
He wants some protein.
It's a fun place. I really like it.
I lost my gloves, ridden like almost 1,000 miles without gloves on. Really hot.
He's like, can you please just send me a picture of the 4 of you? Well, there's only 3 of us, but he definitely included the dog into that, right? So we took that picture that I posted to Facebook, and I'm just like, everybody, I don't care what anybody looks like. Hayden doesn't like taking photos and all this stuff. I'm like, we got to get this picture for Dad. Ready? Let's just do this real quick. And then he just focused on that for a while just to get him through.
All right, I got one more job for you. Okay.
Oh, so much better.
3 more hours.
You know what's awesome for me that I have on sunglasses and you guys can't see that I'm crying already? That's not my mind. That is him.
Come on over, Mr. Baldwin. Are you telling me I can dodge bullets?
Take the blue pill or the red pill?
I took caffeine pills. That's it.
That's awesome.
Hey, Chris, good job. Hey, Chris, I'm going to bring you a cold one. Okay, that's better.
Oh, thank you.
Very good, Colin. Now it's working.
Well, you're welcome. I'll send it to you.
No,
Okay.
I dropped the iPhone 6 last
Gatorade,
year.
water.
Thank God.
Chris just came through right now.
I'm gonna be the dark spoon. And that day at 7:18, I caught up to Lael and couldn't believe it. I was like, Lael, oh my God! And she's like, you look so fresh.
Right.
All right. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
Where's the baby?
11 pounds.
That's it?
Yeah.
You're right. 15, 11, 24.
I'm getting a tattoo, just so you know.
The percentage of women racing this year and every year is extremely low. Definitely less than 10% of the entire field. But I want to do my best. I want to beat all the men. I want to be, you know, somebody that people can believe in. So I'll do my best to maintain the spirit of the race, but I care about the spirit of the terrain and the spirit of bike packing and what I can accomplish out there.
She's doing what she wants to do. And so, how many people can say that?
We're really happy she gets to do what she loves, and we get to watch and come along for the ride sometimes too.
Oh yeah, and the breeze, it's like air conditioning. Actually, I was just cooking along. I feel fine. What's next? Touch the wall and go back into a massive headwind? I don't think so. For 18 days, 6 hours, 20 minutes. It was a little rough with all the weird stuff that happened and having to scratch, but I don't know, it makes me feel like maybe I'm not finished with this route yet. And I was just riding fast. A big reason why I race ultra endurance or I tour ultra endurance and pack in huge miles and huge days is the wealth of experiences I get to have out there. And that's both climbing up mountain passes and like these swooping descents and this fantastic riding, but also stopping in small towns and finding food and finding water, figuring out a place to sleep and dealing with the challenges that come up, dealing with the mechanicals and dealing with, you know, maybe wavering health. Never know what's going to happen out there, and that keeps it exciting. Seeing animals out there in the middle of the night, or meeting new people that are totally shocked at what you're doing. The unexpected, that's what keeps it fun. So whether I'm racing or I'm just riding, I don't think that could ever get boring. I think, in fact, that's what makes the experience. Maybe a distance like the Great Divide seems daunting, it's too much, it's too big, but what you can really break it down to is pedaling your bike any distance, you're engaging in the same activity as I am or as other ultra distance racers are. It's all the same. It's powering yourself from one spot to another. I mean, so yeah, of course I think everybody should ride the Great Divide. It's fantastic. But I think even more than that, it's just get out, ride somewhere that means something to you. Put a sleeping bag on your bike, go sleep out for the night, ride back to your house the next day. It's the same thing. You'll learn so much out there. I think you'll probably like it, but if you don't do it again.
Honestly, I'm glad you guys came. I apologize on behalf of this entire dysfunctional community for the chaos you've had to manage. I'm gonna hug a microphone. I'm glad you're here. I really am. I better check dinner? Yeah, sure. There's gotta be something that I've never experienced that I'm about to. There's gotta be something that happens to you when you're out there. Something in the solitude and the serenity. And I wanna know. I wanna know what this is about. I wanna know why people risk broken collarbones, risk being stranded, risk seeing wolves. This is a whole new world for me. Hi, I'm Annalise Cleopatra. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I moved all the way across the country looking to figure out who I am outside of everything I ever knew. This summer, I'm taking on something totally out of my comfort zone. I'm going bikepacking for a week in Oregon's backcountry to meet my new mentor, Mother Nature. Okay. And I've never camped or mountain biked before, so I've got a lot to learn.
You ready? What's the worst that can happen? And it's so nice out here. I can't believe you talked me into doing this, girl.
Surprise!
It's an evil laugh.
This is Day.
So how long is this trip?
I think it's 10 miles total.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly uphill.
Okay.
She's my rock, my safe space, and my friend. I tricked her into coming along for this ride.
Is that serious, huh?
She doesn't know how to bike pack either.
Oh gosh.
So we're gonna have to learn together. It's fine, everything's fine. Wait, we're going over here?
Yeah.
Okay. This is so foreign to me. I don't even know how to use my body. I don't know what to put in my body. I'm an anxious person generally. Like the past 2 years, I've gone to the emergency room twice for anxiety attacks. They're like, no, there's nothing wrong with you. And I'm like, listen, you don't understand. I'm dying, like I'm dying right now. We made it! It's over. Well, this one. Really, we just started, actually. Damn. That's a pretty bike. Brooklyn Bell is a super badass pro biker, and she's based here in the Northwest. She didn't even know my name when I DM'd her on Instagram to see if she'd lead Diana on this crazy trip. But she really wants to see more of us in the outdoors. So, here we are. So it's day one. We made it, we drove out here, set up a tent.
Oh, oops, sorry. Here, hold that. So I don't hit you again.
It should feel kind of like an orange. Like if we were to, it's like firm, but like a little bit soft.
A little pushy.
Yeah.
It's a little harder than this is like an unripened orange.
I'm really excited. I'm not as scared as I was. I think I'm ready.
Here.
Take off the rope. Yours is much more flimsy.
I just wake up every day worrying about everything all the time. I haven't done this in like a year. Been all messed up inside. The doctor did tell me, he said, you have anxiety, so you need to exercise at least 30 minutes a day.
On the list, let's go. Oh, were you taking the photo?
No. People can do great things with support. And I think that's what's gonna get us through this, is supporting each other, trusting each other, and uplifting each other. Last night I got to do some star photography. I did like a time lapse of Saturn setting, which is like awesome because I'm in my Saturn return and I was so happy. Listen, okay? If you've never slept outside, you have to try it. It's so peaceful and not at all as hard as I told myself it was gonna be. There's something really special about just carrying the bare necessities and listening to all the stories the trees have to tell. Whoa. I had to, I pooped outside yesterday for the first time. It feels fine. You can just bury it.
You got it.
This elevation's really getting to my lungs.
Have a little piece. I'm gonna puke if I do that.
I have no oxygen. I was talking to Brooklyn last night, and I told her one of my biggest issues is saying I can't and knowing when to stop.
So we met up with the other girls. We talked to them about how Day was feeling and decided that it was best for her to go back with them for the rest of the day. Brooklyn and I kept riding. Whatever we get done, I'm gonna be so proud of what my body is capable of doing and what we've accomplished. But I'm not trying to crush it. I don't wanna crush anything. I just wanna heal things. I wanna learn, I wanna experience it. I don't wanna blow past it to set an arbitrary goal or distance. That's not the best use of my energy and soul. I'm sure in the future I'll look at it and be like, oh wow, that was great, I did that. Yesterday, all my energy was focused on not dying or falling off a cliff to really have fun or enjoy the scenery. It was really technical and I just really didn't want to fall on those rocks. No man. It was scary. My expectations for my journey are so wildly unrealistic. But unrealistic dreams are the ones that take you places.
Your mother called.
I ain't hear from my daughter in 2 days, so I just call in to see what's going on. Yeah, like that. She tell me she doing this thing, and she go ride 300 miles, and there go be bears and cougars and thing, and now she ain't gonna call me. The climb, I was so anxious and scared of it. I definitely feel jealous of how easy Brooklyn makes things look. I wish I had that sort of grace. It's ridiculous to compare myself to her because she's literally a professional athlete, but it's a humbling experience. It was really hard, but I knew it was going to be hard. So I just didn't allow myself to be surprised or discouraged by that. And I listened to my soca music the whole time. Just the beats, the drums really helped me keep going. I had a lot of support and I was able to go pretty far. It feels really, really good.
Last morning.
Oh, it's terrible out here.
Hello?
Morning.
Good morning. I've been waiting for this call.
I know.
You make the climb.
Yes, I made the climb.
All right. Okay, baby.
Guess what else?
What?
I went even further. Yesterday was my longest day. We did almost 30 miles.
Any cougars or deers or anything like that?
No, not yet.
The berry bears?
Raspberry bear, huckleberry bear, blackberry bear.
Did it, guys?
That's what we came for.
This is your reward.
This is my reward. It's everybody's reward. What? My name is Brookie. And if we go downhill, we gonna cookie. And if you wait for me at the trailhead, you better have cookies, cause that's the best in my head.
So what did I find out there? Friendship, trust, peace, relief, stars, and the audacity to accept myself. I found out that I could fly down muddy hills in the rain, pedal through fear, support my friends and let them support me, and sleep under a setting Saturn. I found that fear gives way to beauty when you lean in and accept the uncertainty. I found that the same release of control that lets me flow like water through this landscape works in the rest of life. And if I ever need a reminder, the river, the waterfalls, and the trees are all there, just waiting for me.
Black blood in we vein, mass we going insane. Black blood in we vein, black blood in we vein, black blood in we vein. Job we going insane. Cause me mother was a jab woman, and she pick up a jab man. They give her some jab sex. 9 months later, well I was born. Right in a job hospital, I was Christmas jab.
Route 240 to Bellevue Transit Center.
Shredding too hard, Julia?
You think you can fix this
really backed up today. I'll see what I can do for you. No promises though. bike. Okay, I can fix your bike.
Siri just said it. Anyone can be anything.
What did we ask her?
I don't know, but that's a brilliant answer, especially today, in today's age.
It's amazing.
So how long have you guys known Jen and Nan?
Oh, Jen and Ann. Long time.
Those bitches moved to town. They opened up a pizzeria, and they don't do senior discounts, and so we don't go in there.
You know, I just think they don't want anybody's business. I think that's what it is.
You know what it is
What
that
is it?
you can sit through an entire 3 episodes of Murder, She Wrote before your pizza's done. And that's just, it's like 1 episode too many.
It's always 1 episode too many, Sherry.
I live in a nameless town. No need to wander around. I live in a nameless town. Blackout.
Isn't there a Susan B. Anthony quote about riding bikes? Something like, I'm gonna trash this, but something about that was like the best invention to emancipate women was the bicycle. Something along those lines. Because it gave people freedom. And I know when I was a teenager and stuck in my own skin trying to figure out who the hell I was, and especially diving into like the gay thing in a Catholic Italian family in New Jersey, like that's like a death sentence. I would just go ride my bike. And that was the thing that always brought me my thing. So yeah, I guess it is kind of magical. And for me personally, it just soothes my soul. It makes me happy.
Come up
High,
to here.
like right to here.
Just kind of keeps everything all tucked in.
All snug in there.
Yeah.
Anne's sitting down, she's nervous. You gotta unnervous her. Come on, relax. You
Okay,
can do this.
I got
No,
it.
no, I got
Here,
this. Anne is from Seattle, so she's pretty quiet. She doesn't say much, but when she says it, it's either really funny or really serious. So either way, you really are paying attention.
You said 3 eggs. Yeah. Is that really 3 eggs? That looks massive. That looks like 5 eggs. That's what you eat every morning.
I mean, there's definitely times where I'm like, can you go away? And I know she feels the same way about me.
It had never been something that like really mattered to me or mattered to Jen that much. And then we started to think about like, well, what if we lose this opportunity? Are we going to regret not having done that? There was not a lot of fanfare. Trump got elected and we got married because we freaked the fuck out.
We didn't have any friends when we moved here. We didn't know anybody. There was no lesbian scene. Like, I remember we went to some events in Grand Junction and we were just like, let's just stay home on the couch. I think we just took a leap of faith. I know for me personally, I wanted to take home and bring it here. I grew up in the land of pizza. Like every street corner had a place like the Hot Tomato. And you knew everybody that worked there and everybody was really nice to you. And if you were having a shitty day, they were like, hey, here, have a slice. Are you okay? Or you'd walk in and you're like, oh, you're so-and-so's kid, right? And like, for me, that was a really important piece. And I was like, how do you take that and create that? Because I definitely don't want to go back to New Jersey. We did everything. We ran the electric, we did all the plumbing. We did it all. Like, we didn't go to business school. We didn't even go to college. And we were like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, we had no idea. There was a Friday night, it was myself and one other employee. People were coming in and I was like, can you come back in 45 minutes because your pizza's not ready? And they're like, oh my God, do you need help? And I'm like, yeah, can you like man the register or answer the phone or simply bust some tables? And they were like, sure. And we made it work and people came back. That's when I knew it was the real deal. Like the community jumped in. And I remember I went home that night, it was really late. I said to Anne, I was like, I have to go back early because I couldn't get all the dishes washed because we had a $900 night. That was quadruple anything we had ever done. One of the things my mom always said was, the energy that you have goes into your food. So keeping that energy really positive really makes a big difference. And yeah, she's funny because I have to send her stromboli now because she can't get any good stromboli in Jersey. She told me one time my stromboli in her freezer was like money in the bank.
We use a large dough, which weighs 1.46 pounds. Put 9 slices Canadian bacon, 16 slices salami, 40 pepperonis, and 9 slices of provolone, and we roll it up 3 times. Dip them in our marinara sauce. They're nice and poofy, and they're so doughy. Oh my God, it's a problem.
It's been really cool, the support system that I've had here to like grow as an individual and having those kinds of role models to look up to. Just like be powerhouses. Do everything.
Like, oh, moms are coming in. They're like moms. They help you achieve your goals in life. Jen's got me reading books, business books. It's pretty sick, managing my money, planning to retire. It's a pizza joint, and I get matched in my retirement fund. What are you talking about? That's wild. I love the people and the culture. It's so sick. It doesn't feel like work. I hang out with my friends, and I throw dough. Kyle in there, he can fit 2 pizzas on the peel at one time. Oh my, he looks like a warrior. This guy's majestic. It's like, let's go. I can't help myself. I put on 15 pounds, 5 times a week at a minimum. I ate the whole 14-inch. Gotta buy another pizza. Bought another one. It's like there's something in there. I need pizza like right now, honestly.
I owe the Hot Tomato so much just for like who I am. Like I got my voice here and it's just a safe place to be who you are.
One time I was talking to these guys, they're not very open-minded, and I told them I worked at the Hot Tomato, and they're like, the ones ran by the gays? And I was like, yeah, what's the problem with that? What's your beef, stranger? Once they come in, meet Jen and Ann, oh, this pizza's great. This is a great community. I'm gonna come in again next week.
Well, now that I'm 50, a lot of things make me emotional. We had a few actual, like, situations, instances, if you will. Oh, so-and-so won't come in because there was definitely a lot of that.
Yeah, I do have some friends who won't go into the Hot Tomato because of Jen and Ann's lifestyle. But I don't think most people worry about that. And if you want to know, frankly, I feel like they're a part of this community. Once you become a part of a community, you develop an obligation to the community. And that obligation is to be there. When I want to take some of my friends for some really good food, I'd like them to be open.
But people have come around. I mean, pizza's really fucking good. When we first moved here, there were a lot of anti-mountain bikers because it was really gas and oil when we first moved here. But we are surrounded, if you look, if you go aerial and you look around, we're surrounded by public land. Everywhere you look around us is public land. So when I moved here in 2002, there was a brand new city manager, and he worked really hard with the BLM and with all these other organizations to just try to get everybody in a room and just let's talk about what's going on and what we need and what this is gonna look like. And I think it had the first real vision to how important outdoor recreation was to this community. The numbers that is driving in just Colorado alone are insane. It's like 2 billion? Is that right? It's just, personally, my humble opinion, I think it's more sustainable. Do we need gas and oil? Yeah, we do. But we also need outdoors. Whether I'm sitting next to the biker or the horser or the fracker, it doesn't matter. We're all individuals. We're all here. We're all wanting to live in this great community and make it better. So we have to have those conversations and do it. It's more than just making pizza. It's creating this place. Someone just said that we're the living room to the outdoor industry in the Grand Valley. And I was like, that's really sweet.
Do I think this could exist in Fruita without mountain biking? It wouldn't feel the same. Not at all.
Sejak lebih sebulan yang lalu, kita berjihad melawan COVID-19. Dan bagi yang minat bersukan, mungkin dah lama tak kayuh basikal, kita lalui satu tempoh yang banyak menguji kesabaran dan daya ketahanan kita. Kita masih belum menang. Sabar dulu. 2 minggu lagi.